Ladies and gentlemen, listen up because this is crucial. If you want to grow, if you want to break through, you must force yourself. No one is coming to save you. The cavalry isn't on its way. It's on you to rise up, take charge, and drive your own life. Change isn't easy, it's uncomfortable. But discomfort is where transformation lives. The problem is most people wait. They wait for motivation to strike, for the right moment. Let me tell you, the perfect moment doesn't exist. If you sit back and wait, you'll stay stuck right where you are while time slips through your fingers. You have to act before you're ready. Wake up earlier than your excuses. Get moving before fear has a chance to talk you out of it. Success doesn't come to the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. It comes to those who act even when they don't feel like it. You want more energy? Start with one more push-up. You want success in your career? Make that difficult call today. You want to change your life? Do the uncomfortable thing again and again until it becomes second nature. You've got everything you need to make it happen. Your mind is powerful, your will is limitless, and when you force yourself to act, you prove to yourself that you are unstoppable. No one is coming to save you. This truth is not meant to discourage you, but to empower you. We are often raised with the idea that there will always be someone, a mentor, a partner, or even a stroke of luck that will step in and guide us to where we need to go. This belief can lull us into complacency, thinking that all we need to do is wait, keep going through the motions, and eventually a hand will reach out and lift us up. But the reality of life is this: the hand you're waiting for is at the end of your own arm. Many people spend years waiting for external circumstances to align perfectly. They hope for the right time, the right people, the right opportunities, or even the right amount of motivation. But life doesn't work like that. The longer you wait, the more time you lose. And here's the hard truth: no one is invested in your growth, your goals, or your happiness as much as you are, or as much as you should be. Others may help, encourage, or cheer you on, but ultimately the responsibility is yours. We live in a culture that often romanticizes rescue, the idea that something or someone will sweep in at just the right moment and solve your problems. It's a comforting thought, isn't it? But it's dangerous too. Waiting for rescue keeps you passive. It keeps you in a state of hope rather than action, reliance instead of initiative. Your dreams, your goals, your transformation, they require action, not dependence. When you rely on someone else to save you, you give away your power. You put your future in someone else's hands, hands that are busy building their own dreams, navigating their own struggles. No one knows your potential better than you. No one understands your pain better than you, and no one is more capable of designing your life than you are. The people who succeed, the ones who grow, achieve, and thrive, are the ones who realize that help is not coming. They don't view this as a tragedy. They see it as a call to arms. Knowing it's up to them puts the power back where it belongs, in their hands. It's about personal responsibility, not the kind that weighs you down like a burden, but the kind that ignites a fire within you, a determination to move forward no matter what. Think about how often people get stuck. They blame their circumstances, their upbringing, their past mistakes, or even the world at large for where they are. And while those things may have played a role in shaping where they're starting from, they don't have to dictate where they're going. At some point, you have to make a decision. Are you going to let those factors control you, or are you going to take control? You may not have created all the problems in your life, but it's up to you to fix them. Life isn't fair. It never has been. But fairness isn't a prerequisite for success. This isn't about dismissing the challenges you face or pretending they don't matter. It's about recognizing that no challenge is bigger than your capacity to overcome it. When you rely on yourself, you discover strength you never thought you had. You learn resilience because there's no other option. You realize that excuses won't get you where you want to go, but effort will. You stop waiting for life to happen to you and start making life happen for you. Self-reliance isn't about isolation or thinking you have to do it all alone. It's about leading the charge. When you take full responsibility, you inspire others to support you because they see your determination. They see your willingness to do the hard things, to rise up on your own. People will respect that effort, but their respect doesn't come first. You have to earn it by taking action. Every moment you wait, every second you hesitate is another opportunity lost. There is no cavalry coming over the hill, no magical solution just out of sight. What you have is now. You have your own hands, your own mind, and your own heart. These are tools that no one can take from you, and while they might feel inadequate at times, they are exactly what you need to begin. Your life doesn't change when someone offers you a hand. It changes when you decide to take a step. Discomfort is where transformation begins. It's the space between who you are now and who you're capable of becoming. Yet most people avoid discomfort at all costs. They cling to the familiar, the predictable, the routines that feel safe, even when those routines keep them stuck. Growth demands something different. It demands that you step away from comfort and into the unknown, that you embrace the tension, the unease, the friction of stretching beyond your limits. The human mind is wired for survival, not growth. It seeks safety and security. It gravitates toward the path of least resistance because that's where it feels protected. But what keeps you safe also keeps you small. Comfort zones are not built for growth, they're built for preservation. And the truth is, anything that doesn't grow stagnates. It doesn't stay the same. It decline. Staying in your comfort zone might feel good in the moment, but over time it steals your potential and robs you of the life you're meant to live. Discomfort is a signal. It means you're challenging the status quo, breaking out of old patterns and moving towards something bigger. It's uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar, and that unfamiliarity is exactly where transformation happens. Think about a time when you accomplished something you once thought impossible. The first step toward it likely felt uneasy, even scary, but that unease was necessary because it pushed you to adapt, to learn, to grow into the person capable of achieving it. When you embrace discomfort, you send a message to yourself that you're willing to change. You're telling your mind and body that the old rules no longer apply, that you're ready to step into new territory. Growth is not a straight path. It's messy. It's filled with doubts, fears, and setbacks. But those moments of uncertainty are what forge strength, resilience, and character. Discomfort doesn't break you, it builds you. It shapes you into someone who can handle more, achieve more, and give more. Many people fear discomfort because they associate it with failure. But failure is not the enemy, it's feedback. It shows you what doesn't work so you can find what does. Each time you fail and push forward anyway, you strengthen your ability to navigate uncertainty. You build trust in yourself to handle the challenges ahead. This trust is the foundation for transformation because it allows you to take risks, to try new things, and to pursue the life you truly want. There's a shortcut, meaningful change. The fitness transformation, career advancement, the personal breakthrough all require discomfort. It might be the soreness of muscles after a workout, the long hours spent mastering a new skill, or the vulnerability of having difficult conversations. Whatever it is, that discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's proof that you're doing the work that matters. Every step outside your comfort zone is a step toward the person you're meant to become. Discomfort also reveals what you're capable of. It forces you to dig deeper, to find strength and determination you didn't know you had. When everything feels easy, you never have to stretch yourself. But when you're challenged, when you're pushed to your limits, that's when you discover your true capacity. You realize that you can endure, you can adapt, and you can rise above circumstances that once seemed insurmountable. There will always be a voice in your head telling you to stop, to play it safe, to retreat back to what feels good. That voice is not your ally. It's the echo of fear, a primitive response designed to keep you where you are. But you don't have to listen to it. Discomfort is temporary, but the growth it leads to is lasting. Each time you push through, you expand your capacity for the next challenge. What once felt impossible starts to feel achievable because you've proven to yourself that you can handle hard things. Avoiding discomfort may keep you comfortable in the moment, but it creates long-term regret, the regret of not trying, not pushing yourself, not seeing what you're capable of achieving. When you choose comfort over growth, you trade your potential for convenience. The pain of that regret will far outweigh the temporary discomfort of change. Life rewards those who are willing to endure the hard, messy process of transformation because they're the ones willing to step up, show up, and do what it takes. Discomfort is not just a necessary part of growth, it's the gateway to it. It's where you meet resistance, but also where you build resilience. It's where you confront fears, but also discover courage. It's where you face setbacks, but also learn to rise stronger. Every moment of discomfort is an invitation to grow, to leave behind the old version of yourself, and to step into what's possible. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. This is one of the most pervasive traps people fall into. The idea that everything has to align perfectly before they can take action is nothing but an illusion, a mental barrier that keeps them from making progress. It's tempting to think that once the timing is right, the circumstances are ideal, or the conditions are more favorable, you'll finally make your move, but that day never comes. There will always be challenges, distractions, and uncertainties. Life is not designed to hand you the perfect opportunity on a silver platter. It's designed to reward action, even when the conditions are far from ideal. People often tell themselves they need more time, more money, more energy, or more confidence before they can begin. They convince themselves that they're not ready, that the risks are too high, or that the moment just isn't right. This thinking only serves to delay their progress and deepen their fears. Every day spent waiting is a day lost. The truth is, readiness is a myth. No one feels completely ready for big changes or challenges. The confidence and clarity you're waiting for come from taking action, not from waiting around for them to magically appear. The notion of waiting for the right moment is comforting because it removes responsibility. It allows you to put your dreams and goals on hold while blaming external factors. But in doing so, you surrender your power and your potential. There will always be a reason to postpone taking action. There will always be uncertainty, doubt, or fear in the background. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to get started. Because inertia sets in, you begin to accept stagnation as normal, and the idea of change grows more intimidating by the day. Action is what creates opportunity. By moving forward, even in small ways, you create momentum. That momentum builds confidence, and confidence builds results. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. The perfect moment isn't something you wait for, it's something you create through deliberate effort. Starting before you feel ready may feel uncomfortable, but it's the only way to move past the paralysis of inaction. Success doesn't happen in perfect conditions. It happens in real conditions, in the messiness of life, in the face of challenges, and often in the moments when you feel least prepared. When you stop waiting and start taking action, you open yourself up to possibilities you couldn't have imagined. What seems uncertain or difficult from the outside becomes clear as you engage with it. The act of doing creates clarity. Questions begin to answer themselves as you gain experience, and challenges begin to shrink as you learn to handle them. Waiting for perfection is like standing on the edge of a pool, debating whether the water is warm enough. You'll never know until you jump in. Once you're in motion, the fears and doubts that held you back start to fade because action creates progress and progress builds confidence. Timing may never feel perfect, but that doesn't mean it's not the right time to act. If you look closely, you'll find countless examples of people who succeeded despite the odds. They didn't wait for things to get easier or more certain. They moved forward in the face of doubt, insecurity, and imperfection. They understood that waiting was a greater risk than taking action. By hesitating, you miss opportunities that could transform your life. Doors that are open now may close tomorrow. Chances that seem small now could lead to something far greater if only you take the initiative to walk through them. The perfect moment doesn't arrive because life is constantly shifting and evolving. By waiting, you're hoping for something static in a dynamic world. Circumstances won't always align in your favor, but they don't have to. Your ability to adapt, to take action despite uncertainty, is far more valuable than waiting for ideal conditions. The most successful people understand this. They act decisively, knowing they can course correct along the way if needed. They trust that the process of moving forward will reveal solutions, answers, and opportunities that wouldn't have been visible from a standstill. Fear is often at the root of waiting. The fear of failure, rejection, or making the wrong decision can paralyze you. But what you may not realize is that the act of waiting doesn't eliminate these fears. It amplifies them. The longer you delay, the more time you have to overthink, doubt yourself, and imagine worst-case scenarios. Taking action, even if it's imperfect, interrupts this cycle of fear. It shifts your focus from what might go wrong to what you need to do next. Action replaces fear with momentum, and momentum is what carries you forward. The belief in the perfect moment is also tied to the desire for control. You want to be certain that things will work out before you begin. But control is an illusion and uncertainty is a constant. Waiting for certainty is like chasing a moving target. It keeps slipping further away. The sooner you accept uncertainty as part of the process, the sooner you can free yourself from the need for perfection. When you embrace uncertainty, you give yourself permission to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow. These are the building blocks of progress, and they can only come through action. Life rewards those who are willing to act, not those who sit on the sidelines waiting for guarantees. Every successful person started somewhere, often with less knowledge, resources, or confidence than you might imagine. What set them apart was their willingness to take a leap, to trust that the act of starting was enough to set things in motion. They understood that perfection isn't required to make progress, and that waiting for the stars to align was a recipe for missed opportunities. Success belongs to those who take consistent, uncomfortable action. It's not talent alone, nor intelligence, nor luck that sets people apart. It's the relentless drive to keep going when the work is tough, when the results aren't immediate, and when every part of you wants to quit. Consistent, uncomfortable action is the foundation upon which all meaningful success is built. Success? Without it, even the best intentions and biggest dreams are nothing more than fleeting ideas, floating without direction or purpose. The truth is, success doesn't come from grand gestures or occasional bursts of effort. It comes from showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, and putting in the work. This is where most people falter. They start strong, fueled by motivation or excitement, but the moment discomfort sets in, the moment it gets hard, boring, or inconvenient, they pull back. They tell themselves they'll get back to it later once things calm down or once they feel ready again. But success doesn't wait for you to feel ready, and it certainly doesn't wait for you to be comfortable. The discomfort that comes with consistent effort is not something to be avoided. It's a sign that you're pushing your limits and growing in the process. If it feels hard, it's because you're doing something worthwhile. Anything easy is likely keeping you in the same place. Growth, improvement, and achievement are inherently uncomfortable because they require change. They require breaking old habits, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and committing to something bigger than your immediate wants or desires. This kind of commitment isn't glamorous, and it rarely feels rewarding in the moment, but it's exactly this kind of effort that leads to long-term success. Taking consistent, uncomfortable action is the ultimate equalizer. You may not be the most talented, the most connected, or the most experienced, but none of those things matter if you're not willing to put in the work. Consistency levels the playing field because it allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. The catch is, most people won't do it. Most people won't persist through the tough days, the early mornings, or the late nights. They'll stop as soon as they hit a wall, assuming that wall is a sign to turn back. But for those who are willing to push through, that wall isn't a barrier, it's a stepping stone. The beauty of consistency is that it compounds. Small, steady actions may not seem like much in the beginning, but over time, they build into something extraordinary. A single workout doesn't transform your body, but weeks, months, and years of dedicated training create a level of strength and fitness that looks almost magical to the outside observer. Writing a few sentences a day doesn't produce a book overnight, but it will eventually add up to a finished manuscript. It's the power of accumulation, the unseen forces working behind the scenes, that rewards those who stay the course. Most people overestimate what they can do in a short amount of time and underestimate what they can achieve over the long term with consistent effort. They expect results to come quickly and give up when they don't. But the greatest achievements are never quick. They're the product of persistence, patience, and an unwavering commitment to action, even when progress feels slow. This kind of action requires discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement, and it's forged in moments of discomfort. The discomfort of taking consistent action comes in many forms. It's the physical discomfort of pushing your body to new limits, the mental discomfort of tackling challenging problems, or the emotional discomfort of facing fears and doubts head on. It's not easy, and it's not supposed to be. But every time you prove that discomfort, you become stronger, more resilient, and more capable. Each small victory builds momentum, and with momentum, even the biggest goals start to feel within reach. One of the hardest parts about consistent, uncomfortable action is that it often lacks immediate rewards. You might not see progress for weeks, months, or even longer. This delay between effort and results is where most people quit. They convince themselves it's not working or that they're wasting their time. But the lack of visible progress doesn't mean nothing is happening. Change is often happening beneath the surface, preparing to reveal itself in time. Success requires faith in the process and the patience to keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Discomfort is also a powerful teacher. It shows you what you're capable of and reveals strengths you didn't know you had. It teaches you how to persevere, how to adapt, and how to find solutions when the usual ones aren't working. It's in these moments of challenge that you grow, not just in skill or ability, but in character. Each time you choose to show up, to keep going, to push through discomfort, you're not just working toward your goals, you're becoming the person who achieves them. Success is as much about who you become in the process as it is about reaching the destination. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, but it can also be your biggest obstacle. The way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the stories you tell yourself have the power to shape your reality. Yet so often, people underestimate the influence of their mindset. They let their thoughts run on autopilot, unaware that those thoughts are either propelling them forward or holding them back. If you're not actively training your mind to work for you, it's likely working against you. It's not enough to have dreams, plans, or intentions. Your mind has to be aligned with where you want to go. Otherwise, it will create resistance and sabotage your efforts, even without you realizing it. Your mind is always listening. The words you speak, the thoughts you repeat, and the beliefs you cling to are planting seeds in your subconscious. Over time, those seeds grow into the foundation of your actions, decisions, and outcomes. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough, your mind will accept those statements as truth. It will create evidence to support those beliefs, limiting your ability to take risks, seize opportunities, or push beyond your comfort zone. The same is true for empowering beliefs. When you tell yourself that you can learn, grow, and overcome challenges, your mind begins to search for ways to make that true. It becomes your greatest ally, driving you toward success. One of the biggest misconceptions about the mind is that it's fixed, that who you are today is who you'll always be. But neuroscience has proven time and again that the brain is adaptable. It can change, grow, and rewire itself throughout your life. This process, called neuroplasticity, means that no matter where you're starting from or what you've been through, you have the power to reshape your thinking. However, this doesn't happen automatically. You have to take an active role in guiding your mind. Just as a muscle grows stronger with consistent training, your mind becomes sharper and more resilient when you challenge it, feed it with positive inputs, and practice intentional thought patterns. Your thoughts are the blueprint for your actions, and your actions are what create your life. If you want to change your outcomes, you have to start with your thinking. This means becoming aware of the narratives running through your head. Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? Are they filled with doubt and negativity? or are they empowering and constructive? Awareness is the first step because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Once you've identified the patterns that no longer serve you, you can start to replace them with ones that do. This isn't easy and it doesn't happen overnight, but the rewards are immeasurable. Many people let fear dominate their thinking. They allow the fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty to paralyze them, stopping them from taking the actions necessary to move forward. But fear is nothing more than a thought pattern, a mental habit that can be unlearned. The antidote to fear is action. Every time you act in the face of fear, you weaken its hold on you. Your mind begins to understand that fear is not a stop sign. It's a green light to grow. Action changes your relationship with fear, transforming it from a roadblock into a stepping stone. Visualization is one of the most effective tools for rewiring your mind. When you vividly imagine yourself achieving a goal, overcoming an obstacle, or stepping into a greater version of yourself, your brain begins to build pathways as if it's already happening. This isn't wishful thinking or daydreaming. It's a practice grounded in science. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences, which means that visualization can prime your mind for success. It's like rehearsing for the future you want to create, giving you the confidence and clarity to take the necessary steps to get there. Your environment also plays a critical role in shaping your mindset. The people you surround yourself with, the information you consume, and the habits you maintain all influence the way you think. If you're constantly around negativity, whether it's from people who doubt you, media that feeds fear, or environments that keep you stuck, it's much harder to cultivate a strong, positive. On the other hand, when you intentionally build an environment that supports growth, positivity, and forward movement, you make it easier for your mind to align with your goals. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, consume information that inspires and educates you, and create routines that strengthen your focus and resilience. Breaking free from limiting beliefs is a process. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, failures, or the opinions of others. They take root in your subconscious, shaping the way you see yourself in the world. To overcome them, you have to question their validity. Ask yourself, is this belief serving me? Is it helping me grow? Or is it holding me back? More often than not, you'll find that limiting beliefs are based on assumptions, not facts. Replacing them with empowering beliefs requires repetition and consistency. It's about choosing new, constructive thoughts over and over again until they become your default. Resilience is another cornerstone of a powerful mindset. Life will throw challenges, setbacks, and disappointments your way, but it's not the circumstances themselves that define you, it's how you respond to them. Resilience comes from the ability to adapt, to see obstacles as opportunities, and to maintain a sense of control even in the face of uncertainty. Building resilience starts with your thoughts. When you choose to see setbacks as temporary, to view failure as feedback, and to believe in your ability to overcome, you create a mindset that can weather any storm. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or difficulty, but it does mean refusing to let them define you. The way you talk to yourself matters more than most people realize. Your inner dialogue sets the tone for how you approach challenges, setbacks, and successes. Negative self-talk can be insidious, creeping into your mind and undermining your confidence. Thoughts like, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, create a self-fulfilling prophecy, leading you to act in ways that confirm those beliefs. Positive self-talk, on the other hand, empowers you. It reminds you of your capabilities, reinforces your resilience, and gives you the courage to keep going when things get tough. Changing your self-talk requires intentionality, but it's one of the most impactful shifts you can make.